Oh hi, you find me. That's great. Today, a bit of a different sort of review. It's the Citizen Tsuyosa, but it's the Spectrum edition. It's the one with the very highly colourful kind of laser dial, and it's quite amazing. I personally couldn't find a review in this watch, nor much decent video or photographs. So this is my attempt to help others in the same boat if they're on the fence about the watch. But just before we move into the video and all the photographs and all the rest of it, I thought I'd do some of the specifications, because I couldn't find some of the specs online myself. So I had a measure, I had a look around the internet. So here's what I found so far. So, oh, it's got a really catchy kind of serial number / product name, which is the NJ0151-53W. Who'd have thought? Or if you search for Tsuyosa Spectrum dial, you'll find that as well. It's priced around £299 in the UK, but I've got a little tip coming up later on as to how you might be able to get that a little bit cheaper. As you'll see, it's a three-handed watch with a date and a date magnifier. Hate those things. It's in stainless steel. It's got a sapphire crystal glass, as you'd hope. The dial is outrageously fabulous. It's coloured, and it's it's all the colours of the spectrum as you'd like. It's 40mm, so it's just about the right size for certainly for me. It's just over 12mm thick, so it's 12.44 according to the calipers that I've got. So not very thick, fits on your sleeve really well, and 45.3 mils lug to lug, which is the length of the watch across your wrist, which again on my 6.5-inch wrist fits me just great. It's 50mm water resistant, so you can dance in the rain like nobody is watching, but for God's sake, don't go swimming in it. In terms of the power supply, the actual watch itself's got a 40-hour power reserve, so it'll still tell the time after a good night out. That's cool. So now let's go and have a look at some of the video and some of the photographs, and you can listen to some music while you make up your mind, or just enjoy the view. Thanks. Let's talk about the goods and the bads, as we always do. So it looks glorious. I think from the photographs you'll see that it is. It's a nightmare to photograph and video, but I had to go, so I'm sorry if it's not the best, but it's definitely a glorious one to certainly attempt. I think Zelos produced some of the most challenging things to photograph as well, but I really enjoy this watch. It's very, very pretty. I haven't seen anything really like it, certainly nothing as vivid. Oris have their ProPilot laser dial, which is... well, I had a look at one of those in person, and it kind of left me a bit cold. It's very pastel-y. It's not vivid at all, so it's a little more subtle and definitely more muted. This one's very comfortable to wear. It's a great price, I think, at $299, and it is a long warranty of, I think, 3 years, which can be extended if you register the watch as well. Now, the dial Well, it may not be for everyone, but I think it's awesome. And who doesn't love some dial innovation, something different at last? I know a lot of the watch industry has been talking about innovation, but I'm not seeing it that much apart from dials, which is fair enough because that's kind of part of the glory, along with cases and hands and stuff. But really loving the dial, very different. It's going to catch attention, this one. The sapphire glass is very important for me because I'm terrified of scratching them. And the Citizen movement, which is Myota, which is a company they own, will be reliable, you know that. Although it's got 40 hours power reserve, the Tsuyosa small seconds version has 60 hours and a slightly different movement, but this is great. So on to the bads. Just being selfish, it's quite difficult to photograph and show how really glorious this dial actually is. It does have a texture, and I don't quite know how to describe it apart from looking at somebody who's very pretty with sort of beautiful makeup, that you can begin to see the powder of the makeup on it. It does have a very subtle texture, but the more you stare at it, which you inevitably will, you begin to see that texture come out. So in truth, the bad for me is the crown. I quite like the aesthetic of the watch, and that the crown is kind of inserted at the edge there, but it's quite tricky to use. It's a bit stumpy. It's not impossible. It's just could be easier, like the Tsuyosa small seconds. It comes out a little bit more, but apart from that, it's sort of, that's it. I forgot I had it on after a while. It is that comfortable. It's going to draw a comment, which is kind of fun, but I'm wearing it for me, not anybody else. So what does that leave us? So that gives us a magpie rating. What do we give it? Well, not stars, we give it magpies. In this occasion, I'm going to give the Tsuyosa Spectrum dial 4 out of 5, only because of the weird crown. Otherwise I'd give it 5. So I hope this video has been useful to those of you that haven't had a chance to see a review of the watch. I certainly hadn't, so I went off and got one. But there's always a deal to be had if you especially look at the right hand column of First Class Watches website. It's a little thing on it says not within your budget. Click on here and make us an offer. Do that. Don't put in a stupid price, and they'll do their best to oblige, I think. So all in all, pretty good. Love it. I'd be interested to hear what you think as well. So don't forget the magpie mantra: only buy a watch you love and can afford. And until the next time, bye for now. Don't forget this one. Go and have a look at this one. It's great. You love it. See it in person. Yeah. Okay, I'm gone. I'm gone.
We love the dial, look, shiny, shiny, precious.